After successfully unpacking the Thanksgiving supplies, the dogs had worked hard and earned their well-deserved rewards. They had navigated through crates, barrels, and bags of pumpkin pie ingredients, uncovering all the delicious treats hidden inside. Their tails wagged with joy, their noses still filled with the rich sense of the feast awaiting them. But little did they know, the journey ahead wouldn't be quite so simple. Just as they left the harvest field behind, the familiar path ahead began to change. The vibrant colors of autumn trees were replaced by a more rugged part of the forest, where the ground began to soften and the air grew cooler. In front of them stretched a wide, open clearing. But this wasn't like the fields they had encountered earlier. The soft crunch of leaves beneath their paws faded as the ground became slick and squelchy. The dogs paused for a moment, their ears perked as they sniffed the air. The scent of wet earth, damp leaves, and pine resin filled their noses. They could feel the mud beneath their paws, the once firm earth now soft and yielding, like a sponge beneath their feet. Each step was accompanied by a satisfying squelch, and before long, the dogs found themselves happily sinking into the earth with every stride. There was something about the mud that made it irresistible. Maybe it was the way the cool, damp earth felt beneath their paws. Or maybe it was the promise of what might be hidden beneath the layers of fallen leaves and puddles. Either way, the dogs couldn't resist exploring this new and exciting challenge. Large puddles stood between them and the next path, and the leaves, now slippery and wet, provided a new texture to explore. Some dogs hesitated at first, testing the ground with one paw, while others charged ahead without a second thought, tail high and ears perked. The soft mud squished under their paws as they waded through the mess, their bodies coated in the earthy, sticky texture of the forest. As they made their way through the clearing, the dogs began to notice something exciting. The large piles of fallen leaves scattered throughout the area weren't just for play. They were hiding treasures. Buried beneath the colorful blanket of leaves were hidden treats, toys, and even some dog-safe, autumn-themed surprises. One by one, the dogs began to paw at the piles, pushing the leaves aside to reveal their rewards. Some treats were easy to uncover, while others required a bit more effort. A dog would dig and paw at the leaves until, finally, the prize emerged. With each discovery, their excitement grew, and their curiosity deepened. But it wasn't just about the treats. It was about the process. The dogs weren't just uncovering prizes. They were getting the chance to embrace the joy of exploration, the satisfaction of a little hard work, and the thrill of working through the muddy terrain to find something hidden. This detour wasn't just an obstacle. It was a chance to test their resilience, their teamwork, and their natural instincts. Every step in the mud brought them closer to a deeper connection with the land, their environment, and one another. They worked together, nosing through the leaves, digging in the wet soil, and wagging their tails with each new discovery. Some dogs were quick to uncover their first prize and then run off to explore a new pile, while others were content to dig through the dirt for just a bit longer, savoring the process. Each dog had its own approach, but all of them shared in the joy of the search. They learned to navigate through the mud with each step, gaining confidence as they moved from one pile to the next. The squishy, sticky earth was no longer a hindrance. It was a playground, a world of endless opportunities for fun and discovery. As the dogs continued to explore, the sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the field. The playful energy in the air was palpable as the dogs unearthed their last treasures and reveled in their muddy adventure. But now, it was time to move on. The muddy detour had been a fun, challenging diversion, but the promise of the next chapter, the arrival at the Thanksgiving feast, was just ahead. The dogs, now covered in a light coating of mud, continued their journey with joyful hearts and eager paws. With their bellies full of treats and their minds buzzing with excitement, they trotted through the soft mud one last time, ready to take on whatever came next. As they made their way through the clearing and the last remnants of the muddy field, the sight of the next path began to emerge. A wide open meadow leading them toward the feast. This was it, the final stretch. The Thanksgiving feast was waiting, but not without one last challenge before the reward. With their paws covered in mud and their spirits soaring high, the dogs have conquered the muddy detour. They've worked through squishy puddles and dug through piles of fallen leaves, uncovering hidden treats and toys along the way. Their teamwork, curiosity, and determination have turned the muddy challenge into a playful adventure. And now, with wagging tails, they emerge from the clearing. The end of this muddy stretch is near, and ahead, they can see the open expanse of a meadow. The scent of autumn is in the air, ripe pumpkins, warm spices, and a promise of something wonderful to come. Though their paws are a bit muddier than before, their excitement is undeterred. The Thanksgiving feast is close, and the final stretch of their adventure is within sight. With hearts full of joy and bellies full of treats, the dogs eagerly continue on their journey. They move forward, leaving the mud behind, toward a place where the ultimate prize awaits, a grand Thanksgiving feast that's nearly within their reach. The dogs have made it through the muddy detour, and the path ahead seems to open up like a bright, inviting promise. A wide, golden meadow stretches before them, the last obstacle standing between them and the glorious feast they've worked so hard to earn. They can see it now, the table set in the distance, covered with delicious dog-safe treats and festive autumn decorations. The air is filled with the warm scent of turkey, pumpkin, and cranberry. The feast is in sight. With tails wagging and spirits high, the dogs push forward, their paws now clean, and their excitement palpable. The promise of the Thanksgiving feast fills the air, and the meadow before them, with its colorful autumn leaves scattered about, seems to beckon them closer. The dogs are ready for the final stretch, the grand finale of their adventure. After all the fun and challenges of the muddy detour, they know it's time to claim their reward. The dogs emerge from the muddy clearing into a wide, beautiful meadow, where a grand Thanksgiving feast is spread out under the shade of an old oak tree. The sun, now lower in the sky, casts a golden glow over the scene, making everything feel warm and inviting. The table is adorned with dog-safe treats like turkey-shaped chew toys, pumpkin pies, and cranberry-flavored snacks, all laid out on a checkered cloth. The scene is vibrant, filled with the earthy scent of fallen leaves, the sweet aroma of pumpkin spice, and the savory smell of turkey. And there it is, the Thanksgiving feast they've all been waiting for. The grand table, set with delicious treats and festive foods, stretches out before them, a well-earned reward for their hard work and perseverance. The dogs can already smell the turkey and the sweet pumpkin pie. Their excitement builds as they move closer, their tails wagging in anticipation. The last leg of the journey has brought them here, to the feast they deserve. This final moment is a celebration of everything they've accomplished. From the first step onto the enchanted forest path, through the harvest hunt and over the muddy detour, they've worked together, solved puzzles, and embraced every challenge along the way. Now it's time to savor the fruits of their labor, to relax, enjoy, and bask in the joy of a Thanksgiving feast well earned. As the dogs dive into the feast, they reflect on their incredible journey, the teamwork, the fun, the excitement. They've earned their place at this table, and now they savor every bite. The Thanksgiving adventure may be drawing to a close, but the memories of this special day will last a lifetime. It's not just about the feast, it's about the joy of the journey, the bonds formed along the way, and the sheer delight of the adventure. As the dogs enjoy their treats under the warm, golden light of the setting sun, they rest contentedly, surrounded by the sights and smells of the Thanksgiving feast. Their hearts full, and their bellies satisfied, the adventure has come to a close. Yet the spirit of fun, teamwork, and celebration remains. Their Thanksgiving feast has been the perfect reward for an adventure filled with joy, challenges, and triumphs. The bond between these dogs, their love for exploration, and the memories of their journey will live on long after the last bite.